Thank you.
It's awesome, man. I was gonna ask, is a werewolf or a wolf in particular would it be your favorite to play, or do you have something in mind as far as another monster?
Yeah, werewolves have always been.
Because that's my personal thing.
Yeah, werewolves have always been a favorite of mine if they're done right, though.
Yeah,
see, that's the thing. If they're done right, but they've almost never been done right except for those two movies I mentioned. But I love the creature from the Black Lagoon. I love. Probably my favorite monster is the mummy. Just the way he looks. I mean, from Egypt wrapped in bandages. In fact, I dressed as a mummy one year when I was 10 for Halloween. So that was cool. I was a little bit too. My rags were a little bit too clean, though. I should have dirtied them up. So I just looked like I was a guy who was injured in the hospital.
I imagine you were still scary.
But yeah, that was fun. But I guess, I love mummies. I like the creature from the Black Lagoon. Frankenstein was cool. I also like my favorite monster movie, though, was actually the original 1951, The Thing from Another World.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was my favorite one. But I think it was Christian Nitti who was the director and Howard Hawks produced. It was starring Kenneth Tobin and James Arness. So, love that film.
And I was gonna ask you, as far as werewolves, you mentioned a few movies, but what about I don't know if you heard of Bad Moon, You're a Wolfman with Anthony Hopkins, I think?
You know what? I remember. Nah. I didn't like them.
No, you don't like those?
No, I mean.
What about
Metal Wolf? No, Metal Beast. Was interesting, I guess, in a way, but the special effects were so bad.
Yeah, so
you kind of like, I don't like that either. I
don't think you like that Teen Wolf, Michael J. Fox,
no,
right?
not at all.
What about the MTV show Teen Wolf?
Nah. No, but you know what was good? That TV show Werewolf back in the 80s.
Okay.
Actually, I don't know that one.
Yeah, it was called Werewolf back in the 80s. You can look it up on, I don't know if it's on Netflix, but you can look it up on the IMDb.
Might be.
And I like that one. I think it's called Werewolf. Yeah, but that was good. Watch that.
And I know you're into comic books.
Yeah.
As far as the Marvel Universe, aside from the character you created, who's your personal favorite?
It was a toss-up when I was growing up between the Fantastic Four and the Hulk.
Thor.
Thor was a close second. And then after that I liked Luke Cage. Then I liked Adam Warlock too. Yeah, and the Wonder Man.
Yeah, those are good characters.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and are you, for future, what do you have installed for yourself?
Dude, I got a lot of stuff
Any
going on.
more werewolf expansion?
Well,
Well,
it's okay. Go ahead. Finish the question. I was going to say we need to get the next one.
Well, what was it?
Oh, my question was, will we see you in some other work as far as weapons?
Yeah, there's some other stuff coming up. All right.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Hi,
Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
Good.
What was your favorite part about being elected in
Really? Getting the movie made. That was the best thing because it was my first body of work that got made. And after that, everything was gravy. I will tell you that there's a little bit of a disconnect when it comes to being a character that that you're portraying and then seeing it on screen like you guys are looking at it. You know what I'm saying? Because while we're going through it, it's a job. And we just have to make sure our performances are up to par. And I don't always see my work. Like I haven't yet to see Rise of Lycans. And I heard that was, the second best Underworld movie, even though it was the third film. But it was fun, it was all fun. I mean, the most fun I got was seeing something that sprung from my head come to life. That was very rewarding.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I, real quick,
Yes.
aside from the Somebody mentioned earlier that he was surprised that he would write and he didn't know that. You also do voice acting.
Yes.
And you've done several roles there in animation and I think games too.
I've done one or two video games, but...
Well, who are some of the voices that you're known for? The T-Titans?
Yeah, I did a voice on a show called Young Justice, and I played Black Beetle, and that was fun. I haven't seen that show yet. I think I saw the first episode. Let me see. I also played T.3 the Tamer, who was a herald of Galactus. I also played Solomon Grundy on the Batman animated series. I also played the Super Skrull in the current set of Marvel, characters, so that was cool too.
Do you think you could ever... is there somebody in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that you would like to play or voice? When they announced Thanos, the first thing I thought was, oh man, they need to get Kevin's voice in this.
Yeah.
They got Josh Brolin, he's good, but
Yeah.
he doesn't have your natural voice.
You know what? I think the Blue Marvel actually would be good. Yeah, the Blue Marvel would be good. That's hard to say because there's so many different characters. At one point I would have said Deathlock, but I think that's going to a good guy now.
Augustine.
Yeah, exactly.
Augustine.
Yeah, I think there are also the Super Skrull, really, if you're talking about the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Sorry to interrupt your panel, but I have to make an announcement. I'm sorry, Kevin. I love you. All right, I have to make a quick announcement. We are getting ready to do the kids costume contest over by the front. So if you signed up, we have a bunch of people signed up, but a lot of people haven't checked in. So kids costume contest in the front. I'm sorry, Kevin. Keep going.
Okay, yeah, so there are a couple of characters.
Just gonna ask you a few questions real quick. Do you have any recent good horror movies that you like?
I saw Mama. Is that
Mama, yeah.
Yeah, I saw Mama. I thought that was good.
Cabin in the Woods?
I didn't see, it's in my Netflix queue. And I've been meaning to watch it, but I haven't. In fact, I take that back. It's on my DVR.
Oh, really?
And I have not seen it yet. I just saw Mirrors. I thought it was interesting.
Insidious? Have you seen Insidious yet? That's one I didn't want to see it.
Yeah, you know what?
I finally went to go watch it.
It was okay. Insidious was okay. I'll tell you what was good. Let the right one in, or Let Me In. Those were good. I like those movies.
Preference, English or do you like the original European version? Or do you like the American?
You know what? I think they had a different vibe. I did like the English one. Yeah.
And what are your thoughts of the Marvel Civil War? And would you like to see that made into a movie with Spider-Man?
Okay, well, that I don't know if they can bring over Spider-Man yet.
Cool.
Yeah, it would be cool, but you know what? I think it's just my opinion. Those guys do what they want to, and they've been doing a great job without my help. But I would rather see them build the Marvel Cinematic Universe a little while longer. Like maybe do that. This isn't gonna happen, but maybe do that 10 years down the line. I would rather see the Kree Skrull War, number one. I would also rather see, I guess in a way I'd like to see the Infinity Gauntlet done, but I would like to see also World War Hulk. I think that would be good, or maybe even Planet Hulk I think would be good. But there's also Secret Wars too. And I kind of think they should do Secret Wars. That would be interesting, you know what I'm saying? So all the Marvel villains versus all the Marvel heroes. That would be cool. Yeah.
And if, speaking of your boys who would fit awesome, would be Mortal Kombat, and they say, finish him. Do that real quick?
Finish them.
Hello.
Hello, Miss, how are you?
Good. I'm a huge Underworld fan.
Oh, thank you.
My preference are vampires, but your character as a Lycan was awesome.
Thank you.
How did it feel when you were, how you turned into a Lycan? Did you feel like you fit into the character? Because it looks like you did perfectly.
Did I feel like I went now?
Like the character, like was it for you?
Oh, yeah, clearly. Yeah, I had a good time doing it.
Can you just laugh one more time?
I don't know.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm actually studying to be a special effects makeup artist. I
Yes.
just wanted to know what is the worst thing that any special effects makeup artist would do?
Okay, say that again now.
Like any type of application, like how they would.
Like what's the worst for an actor, or what's the worst thing you've seen done?
Like the worst thing that he's ever seen.
The worst special effects job you've seen personally?
You mean a special effects job, whether or not it's been bad or good?
Yeah.
Like the makeup effects.
Ooh. I work with some very, very, very good people. So, I haven't had a bad special effects makeup done on me personally. I haven't really seen that. Now, I will tell you what I hate the most. I hate gore. And I did a blood gag in a movie called Slayer, where I had to almost gurgle blood, and it was all over me. And I hate night shoots too. So I had to do this nasty blood gag in the dead of night. And it was cold. And I felt like I had syrup poured all over me. And it's a nasty feeling. It's like you almost have to get in the shower with your clothes on and peel them off of you. And then soak. And then take a shower. So, yeah. Hope that answers your question.
Alright, thank you.
You're welcome.
What's the best special effects you've ever seen? Like you were in a movie and you're like, wow, I can't believe they pulled that off.
Now, that I've ever seen or that I was a part of?
Either. I was thinking that you're part of, but that you've seen as well.
Well, it's kind of interesting because, I work with the best guy in the business, Rick Baker on Planet of the Apes, and I also work with him on Men in Black. And those makeups look great, I think the best VFX, I was also in the Hulk movie. And, it's funny because you're acting for, and reacting to a creature that isn't there. So what they have like big sticks with like a Hulk prosthetic on, like something wooden.
Or a really scary puppet.
Yeah, something like that. So that's kind of interesting. But this new Ant-Man movie might be really good when it comes to special effects because, now they're able to shrink people and it looks, pretty much flawless. In fact, I think there's this cinematic or photographic technique that they use that shows objects and they look miniature. I don't know how they get the effect. I don't know what it's called.
Even down to like the dust motes and stuff.
Yeah. But I mean that there's this effect, like I think this effect where I think it was invented in like the 30s or maybe the 20s, and you see these, large vistas of towns or whatever, and they look miniature, but they're not. I don't know what they do, but they're using that technique there, man. And so I think, that's interesting,
Yeah, I noticed you mentioned Werewolf, the 1980 series. They
Yeah.
only had one season, and I'm a big fan of that. I'm a huge
Okay.
fan of Underworld, and I was wondering, would you ever consider continuing, writing for Werewolf, the TV series, or remaking it or anything?
You know what? At this point in time, I would rather create my own. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Yeah, because I'm working on, a TV series right now, trying to get it up off the ground. And it makes more sense to create something rather than to reboot somebody else's IP. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
I got another question. Raze is one of my favorite characters in the Underworld series.
Yeah.
Would you ever make a spin-off?
I've tried to do that with comic books. They'll never do. I'm not going to say never, but they would probably never do that. In the movies. But with comic books, I've tried to do that. Yes.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I would definitely check it out if you do.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you.
Let me ask you, what do you think about remakes as a concept? I know some people are always saying, oh, too many remakes, they shouldn't do it. Two of the movies that you mentioned earlier are two of the ones I used in my examples. Thing from Another World I love, but then The Thing became a whole literally new
Yeah.
And then the other one is Creature from the Black Lagoon, which I think needs a remake. I love the design of the original creature, but the story wasn't quite there. Do you think there's something to be said for remakes, or do you think that they'd be better off just with new IPs?
I like remakes when they're done well. I think that's the caveat. Are they going to be done well? And some I don't think need to be remade. Like one of the most puzzling remakes to me in Hollywood history is how many times they have remade Carrie. At this point, what has it been, 4 times?
At least the 3 or 4 movies.
Yeah, it's like, what are they doing? I don't understand that. The first one was great. And I might have seen one of the other ones, but it's like they're searching for something. Why? I don't know. But, I don't mind remakes, to answer your question, as long as they're done well and as long as there's been a decent amount of time. Like, I thought The Omen was a great movie. The second one, the remake, I didn't like it. And I think the reason why people do them is because they're already pre-branded. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody wants to be first.
Exactly. They're pre-branded, therefore they have, a certain audience. And so their bean count is probably tell the studios, you can expect a certain amount of money. And, that's why I think